Lesson 1. The poor and middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. Rich Dad also shared how happy he was that Robert Kiyosaki got angry. He said, "Anger is a big part of the formula, for passion is anger and love combined. Fear is what controls employees that causes them to exploit themselves." Rich Dad continued, "It's fear that keeps most people working at a job. The fear of not paying their bills, the fear of being fired, the fear of not having enough money, and the fear of starting over. Employees often feel disappointed looking at their paychecks, especially after tax and deductions." This was 9-year-old Robert's first introduction to taxes. It's also how he learned that the rich don't let the government do that to them, even though they earn more. In a new deal, Rich Dad negotiated that Robert continues working for him, but for free. For the next 3 weeks, Robert and Mike worked for their rich dad for free. Then, on the third Saturday, he took them out to a park for some ice cream. He decided to introduce him to the trap of the rat race. He did this by offering to pay them 25 cents an hour. They said no. Rich Dad then offered $1 an hour. They said no. Then, $2 an hour. They said no. Then, $5 an hour. And they once again said no. The boys knew that they couldn't be bought. They were committed to becoming wealthy. Rich Dad later pointed out that poor people often say they're not interested in money. Robert Kiyosaki thought back to the times his dad would say, "I'm not interested in money. I work because I love my job." This is how poor people often cover themselves up. It's essential to not give in to your emotions, such as fear, so that you can prevent any quick reactions and think objectively about a situation. The reality is a job is merely a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Rich Dad's focus is on teaching the boys how to have a choice of thoughts instead of a knee-jerk reaction to things. One of the most empowering lessons Rich Dad taught in this section of Rich Dad Poor Dad was to keep using your brain, work for free. Soon your mind will show you ways of making money far beyond what I could ever pay you. You will see things that other people never see. Most people never see these opportunities because they're looking for money and security, so that's all they get. This lesson inspired the two boys to find a new way to make money. On one Saturday, they noticed Mrs. Martin cutting off the cover of the comic books and throwing them into a cardboard box. Since they weren't allowed to resell the comic books, they decided to create a library for a fee where other kids could come over to read as many comic books as they liked between 2:30 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. every day after school for only 10 cents. This deal was a bargain for the other kids who might have spent 10 cents buying a comic book. Each week, they averaged around $9.50, while paying Mike's sister $1 a week to manage the library. After 3 months, a fight broke out in the library, and Mike's dad advised them to shut down the business. But they did manage to learn how to make money work for them instead of working for money.